You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hey, here we are.
What's up, guys?
In the house, we got, of course, my buddy John, JD behind the scenes, Triple B, Jeff Wedding. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, we got everybody in here today.
Preston, Kenneth. I saw Dave Cerrone was in the house as well. He was like one of the.
Oh yeah, whole squad.
Hold on.
We're losing out a little bit.
Is it us or is it?
I was going to say, I don't know if it's him or us.
JD, can you tell us? Is it us or is it Alec?
EVB is here.
It's Alec, I think. You might want to refresh your.
Yeah, you're a little choppy, buddy.
Dave, you're right. AR is always reading.
Kenneth Bird in the house. Mark Heron. And Weird. And Weird, what's going on, buddy? Just remember that if you want to see everybody else's comments at Weird, you actually need to be on YouTube. But I understand why you think it's probably easier to type on Facebook, but just letting you know, buddy, I don't think you'll be able to see everybody's comments.
YouTube sucks. That's why he's not on YouTube.
Well, you can't see what everybody else is writing though. Sheldon, what's going on, buddy?
I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Kenneth Berg. That's really nice, man.
I get it though. I get people constantly on Twitter asking me like, when are they going to be able to interact? And I said, I don't think you guys understand how complicated this stuff is. If I'm on YouTube, just get over to YouTube. It's easier for you to switch platforms than for the experience to create this whole substructure so they can be on Twitter.
All right, I just want to say that basically the two of us.
JD said he's popping and locking.
I just want to say that after John just said that when the time can be that the different platforms can interact, John and I have no clue. Okay.
Thank you. Like literally, that is.
I mean, we are the last person to ask. Okay, if there is a nuclear bomb that wants to be diffused, you do not want me and John making a decision whether to cut the blue wire or cut the green wire. Okay, you do not.
If we're live on Twitter at 6:00, we will find out at 5:55. That's what I told people. There's literally 5 minutes before we'll hear. Oh, by the way, you can talk to other people. All right, thanks, man.
So Preston wants to see the callers. It's not as funny without Robbie here, obviously. But we got new comic book day. Did we lose Alec altogether?
We might have lost Alec. He's probably going to come back.
He's doing some technical maneuvering. He'll be back in a second.
All right, no worries.
Thanks, CD.
All right, can we see a close up of the rack?
How much more close-up can it be?
I don't know how much more. All right, so you know what?
I'm almost wondering if we should take a picture of the rack.
Okay.
No, because I'm just wondering how much closer we can get it.
Oh.
Al cut the wrong wire. That's funny.
Jay, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining us, man. Not even producing the show. We got Jay in the house as well. Thank you, bro.
Oh, cool. Thanks for popping in, man.
Oh my God. Keep it clean, JD. All right. So we only have one. I think we only.
Ron, we can see it now. I'm just.
There you go, buddy.
I'm almost wondering if there's a way to move the camera closer.
I had to swap over to the Ethernet. I thought the internet was good. It said I had good speed, but turns out it wasn't.
No.
All right. So yeah, you're good now. You're not choppy like you were before. So that
Before we get started, I want to throw this out there. I DM'd Alec yesterday, or the day before yesterday, asking him about AWA Upshot. He's been kind of carrying the flag for them for a long time, talking about it. We don't really talk about it more on this show. We're going to start talking about it more on this show because I finished like the first series, Resistance. This stuff is really good. It's really,
I
really
told
good.
you Resistance is real good.
Yeah, it's real good. People have heard me mention J. Michael Straczynski before. He's written some of my favorite stuff, Spider-Man. The first thing that guy really exploded on the scene with, not Star Trek novels, which were good, but was Babylon 5.
Right.
Special effects are hokey. The story is amazing.
For the timeline, for the time period, it wasn't bad for a TV show.
He did Resistance,
right,
which I read, and the next thing he did Telepaths. If you're a Babylon 5 fan, there's some DNA from the Psi Corps in that show Telepaths. Sort of, you know what I mean? Like I picked up a little bit the way, like if you've seen Babylon 5, you know Psi Corps is kind of good, kind of bad, but you know what I mean? And I think Telepaths are sort of like he's kind of, I don't want to say recycling, but he's kind of drawing on some of that stuff from his past.
All right.
Really good stuff. I read Telepaths #1.
Dave wants to know what time to come over to your house to watch She-Hulk tonight.
Tomorrow I would say, right? It's
tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Now, I was actually really disappointed because I had some free time. I sat down and I was getting ready. Like, let's I want to put on She-Hulk. I want to make sure I'm at least knowledgeable to talk about it. And all of a sudden it comes out Thursday instead. I was like, come on with that.
Yeah,
they just changed it.
Yeah, we were talking about this, I think, on Monday a little bit. We don't know why.
Hey,
Creative Jerem, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for everybody who's joining us today. They didn't give any explanation. They just decided to do a different day.
It was like, oh, by the way, stuff is coming out Thursday now. And you're just like, it would almost be like if they moved to a comic book day. Oh, by the way, all the stuff is coming out on Monday now. Why?
Yeah,
I mean, DC did do that.
Yeah.
I think they just did it for a little bit, like because if you have everything on one day, it's a lot of overload. So if you have a little bit spread out more,
okay.
I mean, for a couple of weeks when they had Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan on at the same time, so many more people were kind of looking at Obi-Wan instead of Miss Marvel. So I know they probably
those were the best weeks of my adult life.
They probably wanted to like give a little bit of breathing room, and other streaming programs are going to have big releases, whether it's Wednesday or Friday. Doesn't the Lord of the Rings show come out on Friday?
That does make the most sense to me.
I think Lord of the Rings is going to come out, or Rings of Power, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a Friday. So, like, they want to spread out all these big releases and not just have. It's like once it's Star Wars Day, people will talk about Star Wars on that day. And then once it's Marvel Day, then
that actually kind of makes sense. So Dave, you want to show up at 2:55 Eastern time to John's house, because you don't want to disturb him while he's messing with the espresso
machine, man.
Right.
So now, John, do you go to sleep, or do you just wake up super early, like 2 o'clock, just to get your body prepped for the show?
It depends.
He's retired now.
Once you're retired, you'll find out your sleep clock is weird. There's like this weird thing in your life where I have to get up. No, I actually don't. Like if I get up to let the dog out, that's fine, but I don't have to get up at any certain time. So you wind up being up late or sleeping late. All Disney had to do was tell me, hey, look, at 3:01, this will be on TV. So I went, okay.
So we want to thank Disney.
Sometimes I stayed up.
Yeah, we want to thank Disney, for giving John a purpose to wake up in the morning. All right. Otherwise, John would just lose all sense of time.
And there's been a couple of times, where I went to bed, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I fell asleep on the couch with the dog. My phone would beep, beep, beep at 2:45. And I'd be like, oh, time to make espresso.
Do you nap throughout the day? Are you just up? Do you get like 2 hours of sleep a night then? 3 hours?
I have never, and this is probably way more personal information than people want to know. I've never been a good sleeper. I have never, people are like, 8 hours is great. I don't know if I've ever slept 8 hours in a row in my life.
Well, I did when I was younger.
I don't sleep too well either.
So let me say this.
A lot of stuff.
John does whatever the hell he wants. Okay.
Yeah.
So right before we're probably going to touch on the DCE thing because that's just a gift that keeps on giving. So if you want to come back in after that,
What did I miss today?
Well, we haven't started yet. Today, Ezra Miller is seeking help for
Disney bought Batman.
Right.
No.
Right. We're happy for them, and at the same time, we're still nervous, right?
No, that's
I'm happy
that's
for
good.
That mapped out, right?
I'm happy for Ezra Miller, the person. I have zero interest in seeing him in the Flash. Zero.
Well, I kind of want to
But
see
as
the
a
Flash,
person,
but we'll
I
get to
hope
that.
he gets all the help, and
I mean, we've been talking about it, like, oh, Ezra's doing this, Ezra's doing that, and every time it brings up, I just think like, no, he needs help. It's not like, he's a problem. No, someone needs to help him. Like maybe he's wild, maybe he's been being like off the wall, destroying things, breaking in places, whatever it is. Someone truly needs to help him.
Supposedly, he's reached out for help, and he's getting the support from Warner Brothers, Disney, DC, whoever.
I hear that pretty much that WB Discovery now called out the big guns, called his mom. I don't think he called his mom. Okay, and his mom showed up, and
that's how you get someone to come down. Just call their mom.
Yeah, and obviously it's helping. And JD, and look at JD's comment, and the person most qualified to help is Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, I mean, we haven't heard his name in a long time. At least I haven't heard his name in a long time.
Good.
So
I had no problem with that.
Well, he's probably going to do something crazy because Ezra's taking all of his thunder right now.
he was off the rails for a little while.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. There was definitely something going on there too.
Well,
you can tell
that's the reason.
Why is that?
He mentions Robert Downey Jr. and there was a time that guy was a car crash, and now
That's true.
He's Tony Stark.
That's
Don't
true.
give up on people.
That is
I have
true.
announced that.
He stuck with it. He stuck to keeping it clean, and he did.
Yeah, he had some major issues.
If Ezra can do that.
But I have to also say this.
Great.
I mean, he came out at a time with the quote unquote Brat Pack, and that was a wild time.
That whole all those people were sort of.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, for who?
Robert
the Brat
Downey Jr.
Pack from the 80s.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought the Rat Pack was from the 80s. I didn't know we were talking about Robert Downey.
Rat Pack originally was not from the 80s.
Oh, that was like the Rat Pack
yeah.
was from the 50s and 60s.
Exactly.
The Brat Pack was from the 80s.
Right, the Brat Pack.
And if you ever listen to some of those people or read their books now, Rob Lowe is brutally honest about car crashing through like the first 40 years of his life, and some of the others are super honest about it too, especially Ali Sheehan.
And it's been nice to see him kind of recover. So all right, we got one best offer book of the night. Let me get that out of the way so it gives everybody enough time. We've got and this is kind of leads into our whole WB DCE conversation, or all the moves that they've made. WB Discovery. So the first book of the night is Scooby Apocalypse #1, signed with Scooby cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just at retail of $89.99. This is probably one of the cheapest CCAs we've ever done. It is best offer starting at $19.69. The year Scooby-Doo first appeared. All right, and that is in. I was pretty upset that they canceled that as well, the Scooby movie.
I didn't even know there was a Scooby movie.
Oh, the newer one.
Yes,
I think
I didn't see the newer one, like the initial one that came out last year or 2020.
No, they had another one slated.
They had another one slated.
Yeah, and that one's been squashed.
All
right, Lars, you got it, buddy.
They killed something else too from
killed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they did. They carpet bombed all the projects in development. They had decided that they didn't. Whatever dynamic was used to greenlight those projects, Discovery was not cool.
All right, Preston. Lars man beat you to it, buddy. So you'd have to come up on the $19.69.
Look at the other three pieces of the Scooby.
What's that?
No, Marcus was asking where are the other 3
Yeah,
pieces.
it's a score. It's like all we want from Ken now is interlocking covers.
That would be a cool 4-piece. Like, what if it's the whole gang?
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
got
my God, that would be incredible.
actually put in a request because we are getting thin on CCA. So I actually put in a request for some individuals.
You want me to text Ken and tell him, chop chop?
Yeah, you go ahead and name drop her. Go ahead, buddy.
I was gonna say there's one.
I believe there's a big one. He's going to carpet bomb. And weird Scooby snacks included. Maybe.
No, if they did,
Right, Ken's getting paid extra.
if they did a CCA on all 4 of them, that would be incredible. It would be incredible if they did a CCA of the whole gang.
It would definitely be.
So why don't we send Ken like a top 25 things that people want to see?
We're always thinking of stuff to ask him. We want like
the
we're asking
problem.
we're asking him for extra She-Hulk 4 pieces. We're thinking about asking him for like just regular.
Yeah, well, the
covers.
problem is that he's so backed up. It's not that we're running out of ideas.
Well, plus it's not like the only thing he does are these CCAs.
Yeah, exactly.
He does like this week. We'll see. He has a Army of Darkness and Reanimator, like an actual real cover, not like a CCA.
A real cover.
Can you find out from Nick what we're going to do? And this was for John, the Green Hornet CCA by Joe Rubenstein.
What were we going to do?
Yeah, well, what we're going to do for that one. What's the price on that one? Thank you, Amy. All right, so let's do, I don't know. Oh, you know what?
Jay, I jumped over to Facebook to keep Edward company. Good job.
Good man, Jay. Good man.
I was gonna say the price for that CCA. John's got it on the 5-finger discount. He's just gonna get it.
All right, so we're gonna talk about obviously the DCE and the WB Discovery, and just it seems like they can't. Every time some news comes out, it's just bad. It's not good. I heard there was a leak from somebody who's anonymous from Batgirl, basically blasting the CEO.
Really? I didn't see that.
Oh,
yeah, that's not good. That's really once you start getting like the disaffected employees.
Yeah.
Like 3 years from now, Amy will roast this place. when she's taken over at a different comic book company, it will be. Let me tell you what it was like in 2022 at Dynamite.
Well, what I heard was that the testing that they did for the stage of where the movie was at, it wasn't ready to kind of be screened like that anyway.
No.
So in a sense, I think his mistake, the CEO's mistake, was you want to cancel it, you're going to get pushback no matter what. Okay. But to blame it on the quality of what you saw was a further mistake. Okay. No matter what, it was going to be bad. Okay. People were going to be upset. Why are you canceling Batgirl? Blah, 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 blah. But then to try to attribute it to, it really, the screening was not good and it didn't test well. And
it wasn't Discovery Channel quality. Hold on a second. You guys do Shark Week where some fool jumps in the ocean with like a GoPro on his or her head and avoids not getting eaten for a week. I'm pretty sure Batgirl.
Excuse me, guys. I just need to see the book real quick. Sorry. This will be only a second.
All right. So I think that was definitely a mistake. Yeah.
What they need to do is they need to literally gear shift the conversation. They need to put something out there that isn't getting dragged by Ezra Miller's personal drama, that isn't getting tanked, and that isn't everyone is like, oh, the Batman was great. It made a lot of money. No, it made a lot of money. Thor Love and Thunder made a lot of money too.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, I think that they need, if they really want to take a page from.
Yes, Creative Keep, you're right. For Discovery Channel to say we have a standard, they're putting like 90 days.
Hey, I've seen quite a few seasons of that 90 Day Fiance. I'll tell you what, that show's funny.
On purpose, you saw on purpose?
Yeah, my girlfriend likes it. She put it on, and one day I was like, what is this stupid show? And she's like, 90 Day Fiance. And then all of a sudden she started telling me about it. It's like, yeah, these people, they meet each other, and then they just get married and bring the other one to the other country. And I was like, oh, I'm about this one. And it's pretty funny. It really is. Seeing these people and just like everything about it. And then sometimes they get scammed, they get conned, and sometimes they just disappear once they get married and they move into the country. It's crazy.
All right, so this is nostalgia night.
So you don't want to look.
No, listen.
You don't want to look into 90 Day Fiance rights for Dynamite?
I had to endure 2 seasons of Say Yes to the Dress because all of a sudden my daughter wanted.
I don't know what that one is.
Oh my lord!
It's something about like a wedding dress or something.
Yeah. The whole each episode is about somebody hunting for a dress. I mean, I can't tell you. I wanted to kill myself. Okay,
Dude, settle down. It's only a dress.
Now, what I will say is 90 Day Fiancé is at least funny. At least I find it funny. I find the situations funny.
Everybody's got a guilty pleasure watch. I don't care what it is. If it's, Love Island or one of these terrible things. I mean.
All right. So, all right, Lars Man actually wanted to see something. And I picked this one out thinking about you, Lars Man. Sensational Spider-Man number 41, the Casada cover, signed, and this is a true remark, by Ken Hazer with a suggested retail of $89.99. Nice. It is number 7 of 999 that Hazer did for us. And we have one available, 5-star at $50.
Cool.
Nice.
It's a cool cover.
It is a cool cover. And I ran across this one. And Amy, what do you got for us?
5-star 50.
Okay.
And Joe Quesada, you kind of mislabeled on the sheet.
Bomb. I'm
Let me see.
telling you, John's just gonna get it for free.
Yeah, Joe Rubin signed it. So Joe Rubin signed it.
I fixed it and sent it and put it on Slack. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I
You
did.
did?
Why was Nick
Because
yelling
of the
at me?
original-
He's like, "Why didn't that get fixed?" I'm like,
It did get fixed. So Nick, if you're watching, JD, if you could change it, I put it up on Slack, buddy.
Marcus, that was actually one of the first things I thought when you said it. Yeah, this is remarked by him. It's out of like $7.99 or whatever you said. My thought was like, wow, that's a lot of remarks that he did.
He's got like a gun to his dog's head or something. I'd be like, no, man.
Tierney Wilson, thanks for joining us. You are good. Unfortunately, it looks like. Wait, hold on. Who claimed it? Looks like Lars Man claimed it. Am I right?
You gotta scroll back a little bit.
Yeah, no, I can see it here.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Lars Man claimed it before you. So Tierney, I just want to let you know. I know you are a relatively new viewer. I don't know how many of our shows you've seen, but basically we have 2 types of sales.
He's one and done.
Right. A buy now, which is the first person who will throw out a price, first person to claim it in the chats, walks away with it. And then best offer, of which we only have the one tonight. That is actually the person with the best offer at $7.55 right before the end of the show. We'll throw up a clock, and JD will throw up an end line. So that is a best offer, right? So, but we only had the one tonight, which is the Scooby Apocalypse. Everything else is a buy now this evening. So it'll just, first person to throw it up there. Let's see. Mark Heron says, keep an eye out for Superman and Lois season 3. Definitely will. Let's see. Let me catch up here. All right. So, and Tierney, when you win, basically you'll see JD just threw up a link to our submission form, and click on that link, fill out all the information. It's really important. Obviously, if your real name doesn't match up to your screen name, but more importantly, that's also where you give us a ship to address. All right, and then we'll invoice you the next day based on the submission form. Although we do keep a note of who claimed what. All right, so let's go. Let's see. What do you guys want to do next? What do you think? Oh, you know what?
Do look for Dave, because he was like, "How many books have you done so far?"
Preston,
Dave is never enough.
Preston,
for you.
yes, I did get your $20 bid on Scooby, buddy. All right, so what were you saying, John?
Do another book for Dave, because Dave earlier put in the chat, "How many books have you done so far?" That's his way of saying we should do more books for him to buy cheaply and resell much more at a much higher price on Instagram.
All right,
I got it, Dave. Don't worry about it.
We got, all right, so Nostalgia Night. So we got Planet of the Apes, number 1. Ooh. Dynamic Forces Rainbow Foil Photo Edition, signed by Ian Edgington. And it is $10. Buy now. All right. I ran across this Planet of the Apes, part of my youth.
Ooh, done.
Hold on. Let's see. All right. So
Notice the John, it's not
2031.
just Dave. So there's multiple people on the Dave Cerrone account.
No, that's a cool.
Gotcha, Lars.
Cool one
Yeah,
too,
it is
'cause
a cool color.
it looks like 140 out of 6,000 too. So
There you go, Edward.
very low.
All right. You got it, Edward. You got it, buddy. So it's not just Dave on his account.
I don't know. Dave said something about it's not just Dave.
All right. So, and it is gone.
Solid.
All right. So let's
Do
see.
like 5 books real quick. Let's just read them real fast.
No, I don't want to stress JD out, dude.
Just do like 5 flash books.
All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna do one that's not gonna be for everybody, but it was kind of a cool book that I pulled out.
Oh, cool.
It is Star Wars #1, the 1 in 500 ratio retailer incentive wraparound sketch variant by Joe Quesada, signed by John Cassaday. All right, this is probably one of the rarest Star Wars books that's really ever been published.
Wow, you should charge them at least $1,000 for this.
Boy, you're good.
1 in
So just retail
$500.
$1,977, and it actually is. We have the one available, number 30 of 34,000. This one we can do with a payment plan with 25% down and the balance in 30 days. All right.
Oh, wow.
I know it's not for
I got
everybody.
Tierney Wilson wants it. It's done.
Okay, Tierney, you got it, buddy. All right. So just be sure that you fill out. And you saw the price. You fill out the submission form, buddy. Tierney Wilson got it, and that one is gone.
I always think with books like that, like a 1 in 500, it's, if you got to buy 500 to get that one, there's probably not many shops in this country that can truly afford to do that.
Yeah.
So, and weird. Yeah, right.
Because when my shop even gets like a 1 in 50, it's like, wow, we really
All
ordered
right.
50 copies of that book.
Tierney, that's okay, buddy. I'm guessing that. Just confirm that that you're not looking for that, buddy. All right. I know. I hadn't gotten to the price yet. So, Jerem, the price is $1,000, my friend. All right. But Tierney, just confirm with us that you do not want the book, buddy. Okay. Thank you, Marcus.
Did he not decide he didn't want it?
Yeah, he retracted his comment. I think Marcus picked it up?
Okay.
Somebody picked it up. That's okay. No worries. No worries at all. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Ooh, we're gonna go to break in a minute. Do want to cover New Comic Book Day when you guys get to it, and then I started watching all the Captain America. I watched Winter Soldier last night, the night before I watched the first one. So I never noticed that in Winter Soldier, initially his outfit is not red, white, and blue.
No, it's the stealth outfit.
Yeah.
He has they've given Captain America a couple different like missions for they did a whole thing. It's on Disney, like the different looks of Captain America.
Tierney, I got you, buddy. No problem.
Where you go from the what you call it, like the classic First Avenger thing, to where you go to all the different stuff too.
And of course it ends with him stealing the old World War II uniform from the
it's like the circle.
You know what? I liked it better than I realized. I really did. I hadn't seen it in a while, so it was nice to revisit that. All right, so we're going to take our first break, and then we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Solid.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Everybody is welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Welcome to John back.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, hello.
You know, it'd be okay if this was like his first stream, but you know, he's been doing this for years. Very professional, John.
That's pretty funny.
I have pick statues out that you won't sell here, but I'll take home.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So the reviews for She-Hulk, we'll have to get to that. I've seen some good ones. I've seen some bad ones.
Oh, I haven't seen any reviews yet.
I've spoken to two people who were at the premiere, saw the episodes, and did cosplay so well of She-Hulk they made it to Disney's social media reel.
Nice.
And both of these people said, welcome John back. I like that. Both of these people said that She-Hulk is a lot of fun.
Okay.
They're very much looking forward to this. They said they weren't.
I've heard complaints still about the CGI, and I'm sure on Monday Robbie will complain about that.
I think everybody's going to complain about the CGI. Yeah, I don't care.
And you know what, Rob?
I don't know if I missed something, but why has their CGI been so bad? I don't keep up to date with a lot of things. Is there a reason?
Disney's maintaining that our eyesight is getting worse. It's not them.
I've read I've read a couple of articles about the directors on this series. They had not worked with CG a lot in their past, and they said like after doing this, they would have planned out better the scenes of where she was going to be green and where she wouldn't, because like the budget got stretched pretty thin by all the time. They basically didn't have the money to make it as good as they wanted to because she was green so much.
Yeah.
That
if Stevie buys something, send him something else, because that's like the funniest line I've read in a while.
All right, so Ron asked about a giveaway. We actually didn't have one planned, but we can. We just got to figure out what to give away. Hey, Amy. Yeah. Hey, you want to pick a giveaway for the night? Your choice. All right, so Amy's going to pick something, Ron. Okay.
I hope she gives us Nick's car.
I mean,
pick something.
I don't know. Sometimes it's a little hard. Do we is there a specific version cover someone's looking for? Anything like specific artists?
It's a giveaway. Just pick something.
You want me to go pick something?
No, I absolutely do not want you to pick something.
I'll pick something. I'll pick something.
John's gonna go. You say, I picked something. I picked it for me, though. I gave it away to me. I won.
Yeah, it'll be like a Bugs Bunny episode.
I've won.
1, 2, 3 for me, 1 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me, 1 for you. So Amy will be right back, buddy. Ron, so we'll give something away tonight.
Dynamite action band.
Ooh, I want that too. But
I
there
had a
is
conversation with Nick about Dynamite toys. I don't think they're coming.
Keep sending emails. I'm sure it'll happen.
No, I really hope the show's good, though. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yes, Marcus. Maybe the giveaway will be a can of Spam. I think we still have the cans here. So Jerem, She-Hulk will Lou Ferrigno make a cameo. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be cool.
That would be
Maybe,
super cool.
Like he's in the scene, just like a Stan Lee cameo, just like a little something. Like that would be.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
absolutely pretty cool.
Oh, I agree. That'd be very cool.
All right.
But yeah, that's, and I didn't even mention the names of the people, but they
There
were
we go.
invited here, and they had said that the response generally was people.
Are you legally prevented from dropping the name?
You told me you got tired of name dropping, so
I've told you a lot of things I'm tired of. It's never stopped you before. Why should you start now?
He made a whole separate, email section for you.
I got a bunch of
All right.
Dynamite stickers on your car too.
So Stevie B says, "How about a mystery prize from John's trunk?"
There it is.
There it
oh,
is.
no.
Looks like Mark Wade wants to take you out, buddy.
Well, it was funny. I just happened to find that picture because we always joke around about name dropping or whatever.
Or there's something on your face. It's one of
No.
He's saying, if you tell me one more time to write a Green Hornet comic, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, what he's saying is stop texting me.
Ironically, years later, Mark Wade wrote multiple books for that. Actually took. I think that actually took place before Mark Wade was doing the Green Hornet. He was doing a book called Irredeemable for Thrill Bent, and I think it became Boom or whatever.
I was gonna say, I think that's Boom Studios Irredeemable.
The panel was for Thrill Bent, which is a thing that Mark sort of started, and then I'm too busy. I don't have time for this.
Well, they're supposed to be. All right, what'd you find, Amy? This is tonight's giveaway.
Redstone, yeah, black, white, and red number 8. This is the incentive cover, the line art edition by Jonathan Lau.
Good choice.
You think you should give away incentive covers? Those cost Nick tens of dollars.
All right, so
John's got the
it's
jokes.
clear me, John, and Amy are on our own, so anything may happen. All right, so yep, there we go. Thank you,
AR
JD.
Comics EXP, thank you.
So hashtag AR Comics EXP, all lowercase. Just throw that up in the chat for an opportunity to be entered. JD, just to be clear, do they need to enter in the chat on YouTube, or is Facebook going to work? So I don't want to lock Ed Weird out. Is JD getting pizza? Oh, anywhere is fine. Okay, fantastic. Good. That's cool. All right, so just type into the chats, no matter what platform you're on, hashtag AR Comics EXP, all lowercase, to be entered in the drawing, and we'll do the drawing right after best offer items closes at 7:55.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. So I did throw that $1,000 book up. So let's do another bargain.
I thought you were going to say, let's do another $1,000 book. Well, good night, everybody.
Another
Except
bargain.
Twitter, you can't chat. Good point. Thank you, JD. All right, so we have Battlefield's Dear Billy #2, signed in silver by Garth Ennis, co-creator of The Boys. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 16 of 299. We have one available and it is a buy now at the bargain price of $19.89.
I have a buddy that reads this book. He's not like a big comics guy, but there was apparently a recommendation in some Facebook group he belongs to, a military veteran, and he talked about, it's a well-written book. I've read it. It's not my kind of book, but it's really well done. And apparently people that are military veterans, people that have been in the service, they most of them really sort of connect with this book. I guess the experiences, I mean, the closest I've come to the military is we did some food truck events for like the USO and stuff like that.
Right.
So I can't imagine what these people go through, especially like people in combat or whatever. But apparently this book is really sort of written for that segment of the population that's, seen the elephant, so to speak.
All right, so Stevie B suggested, I think it was Stevie B, instead of a hashtag giveaway prize, a prize for best caption to John Wade photo. And I got to admit, Preston would definitely, we're not doing that, but definitely Preston would be in the lead at.
I like that. Any closer
I'm getting a restraining order. That one works. So John, Ron's asking, well, Rubenstein, what's happening in the house, buddy? So Ron's asking if you're going to go to Baltimore Comic Con this year.
I am trying to get accommodations for. I wasn't able to get one for Emerald, I love Emerald City Comic Con. It's like one of the smaller cons, but I think I'm trying to get accommodations for that. And by accommodations, I don't mean a hotel room. People
Isn't that
watch
this weekend?
What?
Isn't that this weekend?
Yeah.
Or next week?
I was trying to get people who watch this show know I'm pretty spoiled. Like I won't stay in a hotel room. So I was trying to find like a nice condo or something. And you seriously now need to really book in advance with the different vacation services.
Right.
You can't pick up the phone and say, hey, I want to shoot down to Baltimore. I want to go down to Comic-Con. I want like a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo by the Inner Harbor, blah, blah, blah. No.
Have you tried Vacasa?
That I don't think I've tried.
Because they may not have it in Baltimore. But they were well represented in the Gulf Shores area. Like every other rentable condo, there was a Vacasa sign. And it was excellent. I mean, it was.
Yeah, the answer is I do plan on going back to cons now that they've sort of. And I know this sounds terrible and disrespectful to say, and I don't mean it that way. But people who've this is like a more serious thing. People who've gotten their shots and the people who haven't gotten their shots aren't getting them. So this is the longest period of time in my adult life I've been not going to a con, and part of it was I didn't want to go to half a con. And I didn't want to sit there and be all masked up or whatever. But now the deal is people are going to go to cons and either you wear a mask or you don't. So at some point, I want to return to – I want to go to MegaCon in Orlando. I've got a family down there, and that'll wind up being like a whole other show. I do not know if Hilton or Marriott get back to me because my wife and I have memberships with both of those. It's really a matter of who gets back to me first with – they're like, oh, yeah, we have a hotel room. It's like 14 blocks away from the con. No. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Jerome's got one. Let's see. Caption on the Mark and John photo. I already wrote an arc for you, John.
You know what? After the other break, I'll tell people what he's actually saying to me. I like the guessing of what he is saying to me, but I started mentioning.
I'm just saying he looks kind of pissed off in that picture. That's all I'm saying.
I interrupted the panel. I kind of mentioned this a little bit. I interrupted the panel. Mariano thought this was funny. The panel was about something else. It was about Thrillbent. I wasn't really interested in that. I kind of knew he wasn't going to have the time to do that. About 10 months later, he admitted he didn't have the time to do that. But I had a question about Irredeemable, or the comic, the character in Irredeemable is Plutonian. And he had said, this is a mistake. If I'm at a panel, you have to stay on topic. When you say any other questions beyond just this, I am there. And he made the mistake of calling on me. We started talking about could Superman become irredeemable, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the panel host, and I know people who've hosted panels at cons, I give you guys a lot of credit. Trying to shut me up isn't easy once I'm talking to the creator.
Trust me, I know this.
Our conversation, or
Creators.
I don't even want to call it debate, it was conversation, just dragged outside. If anybody's been to San Diego, you know kind of how it is at the convention center. It just dragged outside. And people kind of followed us because they were interested in the conversation. A lot of these people had bought stuff and Mark had signed it or whatever. And we started this whole conversation. And it was like 25 minutes in the hallway. And Mark was super cool and super understanding. We like a lot of the same stuff, Legion of Superheroes or whatever. And he kind of posed for that. Like afterwards, my friend said, hey, can I take a picture of you yelling at John? And Mark was like, I'm not yelling at anybody. But we decided to sort of.
I've seen the picture. Au contraire. I think he is yelling.
He's yelling.
I think we just ignored it.
No, it was just really good. And Mariano thought the conversation was really good about nature versus nurture. And if Superman, we've seen this in Elseworlds, Superman lands somewhere other than the Kent farm. Is he still Superman? Well, he's still Kryptonian, but is he still Superman? And if anybody has read Irredeemable, clearly Mark's point of view is that if a character with Superman's power lands somewhere other than the Kent farm, or is raised on the Kent farm, not great. Right. Not great.
All right, so next up, let's do this one. Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids #2, Joe Simcoe Virgin cover.
This book is so much fun.
Suggested retail of $50. We have the one available for $40.
That's a cool cover.
It kind of looks that way.
I was going to say, it looks like an ultraviolet.
Hey, Amy. This Joe Simcoe cover for Madball's GPK, is it ultraviolet?
I don't think it is.
Kind of looks that way.
It just might be the color palette that the creators picked, but it has that
there is
look.
an ultraviolet version. That's just the cover.
That's just all right.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
Because that's what my cover A looks like.
So
just not a version cover, yeah.
Right. No, it's obviously been real popular. So we've been real happy with the results of it. Thank you to the Tops for combining the two properties, giving us an opportunity to jump on the publishing. So it's been cool. And I think it's a nostalgia comic, you know?
It really is.
It
we
is.
talked about this before. People are they're at that generation now where Garbage Pail Kids, Madballs. I see the weirdest stuff. I see like Pogs selling for like an outrageous amount of money on eBay, and I'm like, oh my god, these things were like throwaway in the 90s, and now I see people like a box of Pogs, like $180, and I'm like, apparently I'm not the only person that burns money on stupid stuff. So in that case, I was happy.
You're actually the best, though, John. Oh, listen, hey, where Rubenstein has an interesting factoid. The 1940 Superman cartoon origin says he grew up in an orphanage.
I don't know why. I don't pretend to be the biggest Superman expert. I am a huge fan of the Fleischer comics.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Batman.
Oh, yikes. I don't know if for storytelling purposes they just decided to omit the whole Kent's finding the baby or whatever.
Right.
Superman is one of those things where things that people think now of as immutable Superman, these things like came along the way. You know what I mean? Like kryptonite was invented by radio. It wasn't like Siegel and Schuster invented kryptonite. So those comics where they take kryptonite out of the equation, relax. It's okay.
Thomas Bishop, hey, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining us, man.
Superman couldn't fly in the beginning.
All right. Your photo's a big hit with captions. We may have to try that next time around. Find another one, and next show on Monday.
Let's find another one.
We'll run that as a contest somehow.
Oh, you know what? I think I have one with H2 on an old phone.
Is she pissed off?
No, well, she is pissed off because she was hoping I would. When she lived in Princeton, her and I went to the same place for hot chocolate and cupcakes. And she had been out at the con way longer. She'd gotten to the con days before. And I messaged her on Twitter and told her, where are you going to be on Writers Row? Because I want to come say hello. And she's like, if you come to Writers Row, bring my cupcakes and hot chocolate. Of course, I did not go all the way up to this place called the Ben Spoon in Princeton. Really good stuff. If you're anywhere near Ben Spoon, go check that out. They have really good stuff. But the picture we took, she is kind of looking at me like, I'm doing like the smiley, goofy selfie thing. And she's kind of like, where's my cup, my hot chocolate?
All right. So, you know what? Let's throw this up there. Lars, man, hopefully you're still with us. We've got Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 25, CGC graded, 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $62.19.
Yo, this is such a good Miles Morales series. I'm a huge fan of Miles Morales, but this current ongoing, Saladin Ahmed has done such an incredible job with it. I feel like all the arcs are very well done, very well paced, and it's definitely a must read. I think they're coming up on almost 40 issues, I think, for this series.
I think Lars may claim that.
Yeah, right. Gotcha, Lars, man. It's yours, buddy.
But if anyone is interested, not in this series, because it's obviously still ongoing, there is a omnibus coming out, I think, either the end of August or beginning of September for one of the volumes, and I think there's another omnibus coming out like a month or two later of the other Miles Morales volume. So definitely get yourself caught up on some of his stuff because it's overall very good.
Probably the thing I'm waiting the most for, and this is slightly off topic, but I'm waiting for the live action Miles Morales. I'm waiting for the hunt to see what actor they get to play Miles Morales.
Right.
Because there's no way this doesn't become live action at some point, right? I mean, it's just, and I'm not slamming like Peter Parker or any of the others, but right now there's just like such an energy and a push behind Miles Morales Spider-Man. I can't imagine this doesn't become, I don't know if it's introduced in maybe another movie, live action or something. Now that the multiverse is open, anything can really happen. But I'm very curious to see what actor they get to play Miles Morales.
Well,
is it a younger actor?
Well, thank God WB and Discovery isn't in charge. They would have shelved it.
Sorry, we see no value in Miles Morales.
I got to admit, that is a Lars, man. I would agree with you there.
Jaden Smith.
Oh my God, I saw that, but no, I don't want that either.
I remember once upon a time, like there was something about Will Smith was involved trying to secure the rights for his kid to be the movie, something like that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, no, that family should probably, not to be harsh, but I prefer they stay away from,
Yeah, they have collectively done the Ezra Miller thing, I guess.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only know this person's name because my youngest niece is a huge fan of this person. And I saw her. She made an appearance at like WrestleMania or something. Her name is JoJo Siwa. And she's like one of these Nickelodeon Disney Channel kids. Apparently, she made a comment that she wants to be Spider-Gwen.
No.
And that apparently kind of connected with like the middle and high school kids. Like I said, I don't know who this kid is. I don't know if she actually
I know
sings.
who she is. And I would agree with Alec, who obviously has very strong opinions about that one. I do not believe she would make a very good Spider-Gwen at all.
Yeah, I say that in a nice way because I don't know, because I think
don't pull it, John, Alec.
No. I think she's a singer. I don't know if she's an actress as well.
She's a reality star, dude.
No, I mean, I literally don't know who it is, but I'm just saying this was what I heard.
She's someone who I forget.
Reality star. I've seen videos of her. It's just going to be a no for me.
Well, the problem is she's pushed herself as the kind of perky, tween who's grown out.
I saw a picture of her on Twitter, and she's like a nice-looking blonde kid, which is exactly how they draw Spider-Man, right?
You see, because that's how she became.
Yeah,
famous.
she's not a kid at all.
She's not a kid anymore, but she keeps wearing ponytails and.
I had no idea. Somebody told me.
Yeah, because that's her hook. That was her hook. So she can't. You can't change that persona now. She's trying to hang on to.
Has she acted in anything? Is she in one of these like high school
so.
musical type
deals?
No,
what is she? Social media influencer. That's how she. Or was she on one of those reality shows or something like that?
I think she's a Disney star. I could be wrong, but I found it really weird because.
There you go. Rubenstein, Elle Fanning.
That's actually an excellent.
That's a great idea. With Rubenstein.
Like
that's very cool.
Yeah, with Rubenstein's suggestion. Let me see. I'm going to look it up now.
I didn't even get you to look up a Nickelodeon star.
No, because she just kind of appeared, on the scene. Let's see. Dance Moms. That's what it was.
I don't know what that is.
That was a reality show of crazy dance moms and the pressure they put on their kids and, that type of thing. But she did turn it into, I do see a lot of merch here for her. So she did.
Oh yeah, she's got like a brand. She's very, very successful. I don't know. I don't have a lot of info about her. I just know if she somehow became Spider-Gwen, I'd be pretty upset.
I just know it's a no.
The no was so fast when the yes came up. Alec was like, no.
That's as fast. That's as fast as a Jaden Smith. I think that's Jaden Smith. Is that Will Smith's kid?
Yeah, he's done.
As soon as his name gets brought up, it's an automatic no too.
I saw him in Karate Kid, and the overall movie was bad. There's so much they could have done with that movie, and I'm not necessarily blaming Jackie Chan. But they were trying to keep the original kind of screenplay from the original Karate Kid, but just move the location, and they thought that would be enough, and it really wasn't. That was the problem. They got
to stop with Karate Kid and jump on board with Cobra Kai, which I think comes out in September.
Yeah, right.
I love Cobra
So JD
Kai.
says it was a Chinese tourism video. It could have been pretty much. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't say that's too far off. I mean, I think that's a valid.
I actually haven't seen that movie.
I mean, it's okay. It's as John likes to refer to him, a popcorn movie. That's
it is a popcorn movie. However, I don't hammer him for the Karate Kid because he was still pretty young. I'm not hammering him at all. But
I thought he did it.
He did a movie with his dad called
On
Earth, Under Earth, Violent.
The guy who lost his job and they were like homeless and stuff. Yeah.
Will Smith was like the captain of this ship that crashes, and I guess like his son is not his son in this movie, but the actor After Earth. Thank you.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
No, I'm just no. I don't. I watched After Earth, and I'm like, Will Smith. They let you make this movie because you're Will Smith.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like if I go to make that movie, they just throw me out into the street. Even if I'm like a Hollywood guy, they still throw me out.
Thank you, JD. I am thinking of The Pursuit of Happiness, which was an excellent film.
Now, if I did see BBB just said Millie Bobby Brown, I wouldn't hate that at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I don't think I'd hate that at all.
I think that would work too. I do like. I think Elle Fanning though. Who was it? Rubenstein. I think. Yes, just that. I think that would be a good choice.
I gotta close this.
So, hey, Alec, why do you have a Nets t-shirt on?
I'm a huge Nets fan.
Huge Nets fan.
Wow, dude. He has
huge
football, but not in basketball.
I grew up a Nets fan. I've suffered my whole life.
Should be.
And look at the Angel Metatron just showed up in AR studio. That's what it looked like, man. I just saw a light.
It came out of nowhere.
I hate to break this to you, Alec. You're gonna be suffering this season as well, obviously.
All right, hold on. So, when you say suffering, I'm gonna be straight up. I do not like Kevin Durant. I do not like Kyrie Irving. I've never liked James Harden. I was very upset when we traded all of our young players for literally almost every player that I've never liked. And then on top of that, we traded James Harden for Ben Simmons, who I also never liked. This is like these last few years have been my least favorite time of being a Nets fan. And I suffered through the 12 and 70 season. I suffered through that.
Well,
fans put bags on their heads, and I watched those games still.
Let me say this about Harden, okay? And I was probably as critical as anybody else, but the fact that he was willing to make, space in the salary cap for the Sixers to try to bring on some help tells me his mindset is in the right direction. He doesn't have a ring and he's chasing one. All right. And he was willing to take a hit on the money so that he could get there. Okay.
I like that take, but I think that he realizes he's not currently worth that money. He's played horrible.
But well, I mean, again, what's horrible? I mean, I'll take somebody that averages over 20.
This is supposed to be about comics.
Yeah, I know, but now he's really,
You've
now
never
we're
seen me do that.
Please. Now we're in the nitty gritty of it. Look, I mean, I'll take somebody that averages 20 points per game. Okay, I mean, again,
that's 5 years ago, 4 years ago. He played. We'll see.
No,
you got to see how the hammy holds up. You got to see how the hammy holds up.
Listen,
what I will say. All right,
I'm going to say this much. I don't blame anybody for getting out because obviously he saw where the Nets were headed and look where they headed, right? So I can understand that. All right, this one is for John.
Oh, you can't end on that. I got one final say too.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
No, my take on that is James Harden was one of my least favorite players in the NBA for years, absolute years. So when he went to the Nets, I was pretty hurt. What I will say though is that he put his body on the line. And the way that he asked out and then the things he has done for the Sixers, I actually have really changed my mindset on him. So I give him a lot of props. And I hope he is successful. But Kevin Durant, on the other hand, I hope we send him to the Kings. I hope he just goes straight down.
Unfortunately, you know where the poison is on that team right now.
Yeah, literally him and Kyrie. Him and Kyrie.
No, Kyrie is the poison. Okay, that initiated all this.
I believe it.
His selfish attitude. So,
yep.
All right. So this one is for John.
Now we're back to comics.
All right.
We're done.
The Green Hornet. Oh, then we got to go to break, and then we'll come back to this one. Green Hornet Strikes #1 Authentics Edition, signed with a Green Hornet cover sketch by Joe Rubenstein. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $50. It is number 10 out of 499 that he did. So that will be available. All right, so we're going to go to our next break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support, and then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
Hey, we're back. All right. So Preston wanted to get in on our basketball conversation. I'll be honest with you, Preston. I think Kyrie Irving is more likely to go to the Lakers.
I think so too.
Yeah. So it'll become their problem.
It's going to come down to when Durant gets moved. Whenever he gets moved, then Kyrie will follow, and then we can go back to being a whatever team. It is what it is.
Well, yeah. No, I probably agree with that. Triple B. Anybody else who can't wait for Halloween Ends? I could wait, but I do want to see it.
Oh my God, there's another one. I gotta look it up. There's no way there's another one.
Yeah,
there is another one.
Yeah, it's supposed to close it all up. So
I thought the last one was supposed to close it all up.
Well, apparently not.
But insanely quick, before I forget, only because we were just talking about Miles Morales before. So Volume 2 came out actually yesterday, and then Volume 1 comes out in September for the Omnibus. Organic Price Books still has Volume 2, but when you click on it to order, it holds it for 10 minutes because it says it's a high demand item. I've never seen that on Organic Price Books before, which leads me to believe it actually is a heavily ordered item. I just ordered one. I think it came out to $65 with shipping, whatever, tax, whatever. But that's just a heads up. It just came out. They still have some. It's not $100.
All right, so Thomas Bishop in the house. Welcome, Thomas. Just to give you a reminder, in order to see everybody else's chat, most people, except for our buddy Ed Weird, is on YouTube. So you'll be able to see everybody else's reaction in the chats. Make sure you're doing live chat, not top chat. But just to give you a heads up, but you're perfectly, fine staying on Facebook if you want. Keep Ed Weird company. And weird. However, John Carpenter says it's not really going to end an interview the other day. It never does, dude. It all depends on the box office receipts.
Yeah, there's nothing. We talked about this in comics. Nobody ever dies in comics.
Yeah, exactly. So Preston, my buddy Preston, has requested a Rex cap. So that's what we're going to do.
Sure.
All right. So we had Battlefield's Dear Billy #2, signed in silver by Garth Ennis. Suggested retail $69.99. Number 16 of 299 signed. And it is a blockbuster price of $19.89. We only have one available at that price. Obviously signed by the co-creator of The Boys, Garth Ennis. Then we did, we haven't done this yet. Oh, yeah, we did. We did it right before the break. The Green Hornet Strikes #1, Authentics Edition, signed with a Green Hornet cover sketch by Joe Rubenstein. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is one of our 5-star for $50 books.
I am very surprised that book actually made it to, like, available. I can't believe John didn't take it.
So all of my power to keep him from taking it. That's all I can say.
Not to ruin this for you, but I already have one.
Shocker.
All right, that clears it up then. But do you
I
have,
just said- I didn't want
do you
people
have
to think I was-
10?
All
Do you have
right,
number
so-
10 out of 499 though.
Okay, Marcus, that's a good one. Rex should spin his hat for the Rex cap like Stallone and Over the Top. Oh, I love that movie. All right, I'm spinning the hat, but you don't see me. You don't see me during the Rex cap because the image of the comic always gets in the way. All right, here
You
we
want
go.
you want some spots, and you get the spotlight for a change.
Now I'm too lazy to move there. So then we did Star Wars #1, 1 in 500 ratio retailer incentive wraparound sketch variant by Joe Quesada, signed by John Cassaday. Suggested retail of $1,977, and we have one available for $1,000 with the payment plan, 25% down, and the balance of 30 days.
Just invoice our buddy Dave. He'll be fine.
And it is number 30 of 30 and probably one of the rarest Star Wars books of all time. Then we did Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids #2, Joe Simcoe Virgin cover. Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. And then this is the lone best offer book of the night. JD. Scooby Apocalypse #1, signed with Scooby cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is the lone best offer book. And let me see, Large Man is in the lead at $20.31. All right, and that finishes the Rex cap. And we'll do them for the end of the show as well. All right.
So a new comic book day?
Yeah, let's talk about new comic book day, guys. Who wants to go first?
I want to know what Alex got.
All right, you go first, Alec.
All right, it was an all right week. I actually really liked Dynamite's what was it, the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator Necronomicon. I'm a big fan of just Army of Darkness. I don't really know anything about the other guy. Was it Hubert West? I believe his name.
Wells is the
Herbert
Reanimator.
Wells.
That's like a Lovecraft thing.
So I don't know that character all that well, but I think they've done a pretty decent job, at least in the first issue, to kind of get new readers, who that character is. But there's a lot going on in the story, and it's very well balanced. I think they're doing a great job. It's kind of two separate plot points, and like I said, I think it's well balanced. So that series was really good. Other than that, I mean, Marvel had some all right issues. This, all right, I gotta talk about this. This bothers the absolute life out of me.
Is it Avengers 10,000 BC or 1 million BC or whatever it was?
Preston, I got you, buddy. By
No.
the way, on Scooby Apocalypse.
I skipped that because I didn't want to be disappointed. And plus, to be honest, a lot of these books were pretty expensive this week. There's a lot of like $5 and $6, $7 books. But this, Miss Marvel and Moon Knight issue #1. I did like this. I'm gonna be honest. I liked this issue. I thought it was a good issue. But I have this problem that Marvel's doing this with two separate series now. They're doing it with this Miss Marvel one, and they're doing it with the Moon Girl and whatever series. Like, depends on whoever she's teaming up with.
I got you, Preston, on the Green Hornet. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Somebody's going to look at this as a Miss Marvel and Moon Knight 1. They're going to think this is a new series.
CVB, right?
Or at least a one-shot. Somebody is going to look at this and think, cool, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, I'll pick it up, I'll read it. There's an ongoing story in this from the last issue of Miss Marvel and Miss Marvel and Wolverine. That's where the plot gets introduced, and it gets carried into this issue. So the fact that they're calling this a #1, the last issue a #1, and they're doing the same thing with the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur series. It's Moon Girl, and the last one was the Avengers. The one before that was Miles Morales, but it's an ongoing story that keeps getting called #1. That, I don't know. I'm reading it, and to be honest, I think both series are just all right. This was better than the first issue, but I don't understand why they're doing that. If it's just going to be a small mini series, just call it 1 through 5 and then just have Miss Marvel team up with different characters. But instead, it's kind of deceiving new readers thinking a new number 1 with 2 popular characters, they can just pick it up and enjoy a one shot. I don't know.
And Weird, I got you down for a 10-pack, buddy. Just to let you know.
See, picking up on what Alex just said, here's the deal. They have people that are willing to spend $5, $6, $7 for a comic, right? The least you can do is make it easier for me to buy your product. Clearly, people are buying Miss Marvel. Clearly, people are buying Wolverine, whatever. There's no shortage of sales for those particular characters, right? Help me help you. The way this works is I buy your comics and you make money. $5, $6, $7, whatever they are. Week in, week out, month in, month out. You've got my business. At least tell me, hey, look, this is continuing from another book.
Yeah, that's a problem. And with the other comment, then, from the consumer standpoint, it is a marketing thing. Somebody sees a number 1, they're going to get it. But the problem is that, that really is just very deceitful. You're not going to know it's a continuing story. And then to continue on with that, you've got Daredevil's brand new series written by Chip Zdarsky. They literally ended his ongoing series to restart an ongoing series written by the same guy. And I think the artwork's the same artist as well. But the issue I have with that is that it's not a new series. It literally still is a continuation on. If you didn't read more so the end of Daredevil, and if you didn't read Devil's Reign, you're going to be very lost in Daredevil right now, and I kind of am. I enjoyed the issue, the big 650th issue, but if you didn't read Devil's Reign, you're not going to know why these characters are there and why they're doing the things that they're doing. It's not a new series. They're not giving you any heads up saying like, hey, new readers, get yourself caught up in this, but instead just buy it, and as you're reading it, get these little tidbits here and there. Oh, right. Yeah, like they hint at it like, oh, yeah, when this happened back in New York, or when this happened when he took down Fisk or whatever. It's like, just if you're going to make a brand new series, make it a new series. I understand you want to get a number 1 going so you can get all these new readers on a new series, because if it's 35 issues deep, if you're like, nobody new is going to pick that up. Nobody's going to pick that up 25 issues deep. It is what it is. Like, that's why I like what they're doing with Strange Academy. At first I was disappointed that they ended it, but they're starting a new volume called like Term 2 or Year 2. So they're treating it as a new semester. So it's like, yes, we have volume 1. You should read volume 1. This is like year 2. So if you want to get caught up in year 2, you got to read year 1 first. It's not just Strange Academy volume 2, just issue 1. I mean, I don't know. That's just my thought process on it. It does bother me though.
So Jay Santiago, thanks for joining us, buddy. Is Marvel deceiving us? That's an interesting question.
I don't think it's this. I don't know if it's outright deception, but you're maybe misleading is a better word. I mean, because you're buying the book, but now they're changing the definition. Generally speaking, 6 generations of comic book fans understand that issue number 1 is a new book.
Right.
Sometimes it's new creators, sometimes new direction, sometimes new incarnation of the character. The Daredevil thing is ludicrous. To have a book 18, 19 issues in, whatever it is, and then say, well, we just want to do a number 1 for no reason, and you literally just have the creators continuing in the story. That's, in pro wrestling, that's like cheap heat. You know what I mean? Like, you're already getting my money. At least respect me enough as a consumer, as your customer, and, a little bit. And I
got to
don't
be
think
honest.
that's a lot to ask.
Well, I got to be honest. I think the shift happened during the death of Superman and the breaking of Batman and, all that stuff, is when a large number of speculators entered the market. That's who it's done for more than anybody else. Because most speculators aren't actually readers. So they have to chase something, right? So before that time, I like to think that the content, the story, the art played a huge and massive role, okay? And they weren't really concerned, okay? So we're at issue number 125, okay? But it's a new storyline, a new story arc. So that makes sense to me. But during that period of time, you got a lot of people that were speculators. my Turok story is probably one of the best in that the pre-order on Turok #1. I think who was doing it back then? Was it Valiant or?
I think it was Valiant.
Maybe. I'm trying to think who. Yeah, it was Valiant who was doing.
And they pre-ordered like 1 million copies, and then I read an article back then that there were really only about 100,000 readers. So where are the other 900,000 pre-order copies? And then, of course, before it was even
they're going to show up on Storage Wars one day when someone cracks this open.
Well, what's funny is that the price dropped below cover price before the book actually shipped. Yeah. Because all of a sudden you got out like, what? There are 1 million copies pre-ordered and only 100,000 readers. We're jammed. What are we going to do? We're screwed. And then I think that the publishers recognize, there's a speculating market out there. Okay. I like to think that they some publishers went too far that way. Some didn't go far enough, whatever the case may be. But I think somewhere down the line they said, all right, we still have to have the quality of the story and the art and that, so on and so forth for the true comic collector. But we want the spec money too. So how do we get the spec money? Well, every time we end the story arc, go back to #1. Okay. And the spec guys they won't figure it out at first.
See, now with all that being said, I at least can understand the Daredevil restart. Like I said, I didn't finish Devil's Reign. I didn't finish reading the Daredevil series from Chip Zdarsky, but a lot of big stuff happened. So it's kind of starting fresh and moving forward, but it's not like a brand new story. So I can at least get past that. Like, all right, that's my bad. I didn't get caught up. But still, it is what it is. The Miss Marvel and the Moon Girl stuff, where you just keep making issue 1 with Miss Marvel and say Moon Knight as the headline, that's what I think bothers me the most. Why you already make 5-issue miniseries as your main priority at this point? Because let's be real, an ongoing series that's 20, 30 issues deep, you're not getting new readers. How are you going to get the most money as a company? You make these small issue series, you make a one shot, you make like a tale story. You don't have a 40, 50 issue series because at this point, who's picking up Fantastic Four? Nobody. It's too late in the game. So I get it. But the fact that it's Miss Marvel, Wolverine, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, it's a team up. You just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then by the 5th issue, it's all concluded. If all you see is 1, 1, 1, and 1, people are going to be confused. People are going to pick up that 4th or 5th issue thinking it's it, and all of a sudden the story ends and they have no idea what's going on, and they just wasted $5 or $6.
Yeah. Right. And JD's right. They could have just done Marvel team up.
Yeah, a team up brand.
I mean, Marvel like a team up. I understand originally it was Spider-Man and whoever, but yeah, and Marvel 2-in-1, which was a thing, whatever. They could easily do some kind of team up if they want to grab Wolverine, and they don't even have to keep it to one character, right? I mean, they can sort of, do a story arc with Miss Marvel, like 2 characters like Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, right? And then the next arc can be, I just think it's, people want #1, and we do this here at Dynamite, right? We do a series. And Vampirella is 4 issues, 5 issues, 10 issues, whatever, right? When we go back to issue #1 again, it's a new story. It's still Vampirella, but it's a new story. You know what I mean? Right. Same with Red Sonja. We do Immortal Red Sonja, and then the next Red Sonja thing that comes out, or previously there was Hell Sonja. It's not like it's just one big long story that we're chopping up into 10 issues. It's always a new story. It's more often than not a new creative team.
So Marcus, tongue in cheek there, acetate covers. That's how you make the moolah.
Acetate covers.
I know Marcus is making a joke, but I think that's kind of the point. So when you look at that, how is that really any different than what we're talking about right now? Except that they didn't have the rights to do that, as opposed to Marvel or DC can do whatever, or any publisher can do whatever they want.
Future is metal, ultraviolet covers.
I like them.
It's that gray area. It really is. It's that gray area of too much marketing, not enough content and substance, too much substance and content, not enough marketing. Because if you go too far the other way, you may have a really great book with really great art and really great story arc, but it doesn't do any good if it doesn't get into people's hands, people that want to read it and appreciate it. So, where is that line? I see what you're saying. In that instance, they've gone too far to the marketing side. Marcus and acetate covers and trust.
Yeah, I think it's kind of screwed up. I do. I think it's messed up for comic book readers. People who want to get into something. They see #1, All right, cool. They like Miss Marvel. They like Moon Knight. Cool. You can pick it up and understand, but there's so many references to the first issue. Oh yeah, when I did it with the X-Men. Yeah, this happened with the X-Men, and it's like there's so many references. You will get it, but you won't have a full story, and it's a continuation. I don't know.
I don't know if the thinking there is. I mean, I agree with everything else said, but I don't know if the thinking for Marvel is the Quentin Tarantino deal. If I start telling you a story in the middle of it, you're urged to go back and see the beginning. Everybody that's always seen like a Quentin Tarantino movie knows you can't wait for the middle of the movie because that's how it begins, right? And I'm wondering if in comics they're like, if we do a story and we sort of get people in the middle of a story by telling you it's in issue 1, will that sort of be like a back effect, like a retro effect of, well, now they're going to go back to see what, you know what I mean? It's almost like a second chance to get, and I just think that's not, if you treat your customers, I don't care what business you have, if you treat your customers with just a little bit of respect, you know what I mean? You keep them longer. If I buy an issue number 1, it's the middle of the story, my interest in buying a new issue number 1 from you drops drastically. I don't care if it's a book I've collected for 40 years.
Right.
Tell me what I need to buy to read this story. That's all I'm asking you to do.
That's why I always ask you for Dynamite, like Vampirella. That's every time there's something of Vampirella, I ask you right away, hey, can I get this?
Well, that's why I kind of say to you sometimes, like, this is a great place to start. Some of the Vampirella, you know, like a lot of Vampirella stuff is written for newer readers, but not all of it is written for new readers. You know, sometimes we get stuff where like Vampirella Unholy, this Dracula storyline had been going on for years and years. Yep. And where you could pick up the book and understand what's going on, but to really appreciate it, you really need to at least have some of that back information, right? And I think that the only complaint I've read about Nyx, people like Nyx. Nyx is doing really well, but people who have not been longtime Vampirella readers, they don't understand where Nyx comes from. They kind of explain it to you, but it's not the same. Right? So I tell people all the time, if you're going to read Nyx, absolutely, it's a great comic. But you might want to go back and just read, you know, even if you read one Vampirella story where that Nyx is in it, just so you sort of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, Vampirella Year 1 is a perfect place to start.
Yeah, literally the beginning.
Literally,
it was really good too. I really like that.
Yeah. All right.
That's why I ask you.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Alex?
I was to say that, but that's why I ask you, you know, like literally like what you said. I don't pick stuff up just to say I read it or, you know, oh yeah, I read that storyline. No, I want to be able to like take it all in and appreciate it. Like if you're telling me that, oh yeah, Dracula Unholy or Vampirella, Dracula Unholy, it's been built up, you know, longtime readers are really going to like this. You could get it, but you know, longtime readers, see, I don't want to just jump into that and be like, yeah, I read it. No, I want to like read up to it and then get this story that's been built up for all of these years or however long and be like, yes, the big payoff was worth it. I finally like, this was awesome. But a new reader, I could read that and say like, yeah, it was cool. But in reality, it's probably really good. I just couldn't appreciate it.
That's a little bit like Vampirella Unholy. You know, when you get to the end, and I'm not saying everybody that it should be as old as me or read all the stuff. I mean, I'm old, so I had the virtue of starting with Vampirella almost from the beginning, right? But even if you've just been reading Vampirella for the last 5 or 6 years, when you get to the last 7, 8, 9 pages of Unholy, you're like, man, here's the payoff that I've been waiting for. And I think if you just pick up Unholy from the beginning, you're like, okay, exactly what Alex just said. Yeah, sure, this is good. This is kind of cool. There's a lot of action and cool stuff, but you're missing so much because they do. There's a little bit of references back to stuff before. Right. And, you know, the average person just sort of pages on, I'm really enjoying this and whatever. Yeah, Preston, you're right. Vampirella Year 1 is literally the best place to jump on. And I think one of the reasons Vampirella Year 1 is being done, and I'm not trying to like climb inside Nick's head or creator's head or anyone's like that, or anyone like anything like that. But I think the reason we have Vampirella Year 1 right now, Vampirella's old character. I mean, literally, 1969 is an old character, right? So we kind of need to, like Dynamite as a company, needs to give someone a chance to say, look, you're seeing a ton of Vampirella stuff out there, right? You go to Dynamite Entertainment, between Red Sonja and Vampirella, you got to get like 8 pages in before you get to, anything else. Vampirella Year One is a perfect place to start. And I think to a certain extent, that's what Red Sitha is. It's not Red Sonja Year One, but Red Sitha is sort of giving readers a chance to see that story, how it starts from the beginning.
Right. All right, let's get another book up. Batman Hidden Treasures #1, signed by Ron Mars and Len Wein, who obviously is no longer with us. Passed away a few years ago, like 2017. Yeah. So we have one available, 2 of 75 signed, and we have the one available for $49.99. And I feel like we've lost a lot of creators this year, but certainly in the last
couple of years, it seems like a lot of the creators
he passed away in 2016, 2017, something like that. Yeah,
I think so.
It was before the pandemic. I know that.
Well, we think about it. We're old men now, right? And
speak for yourself.
We're old. I have no problems. I'm old.
No, I'm getting there.
These were guys that were the superstars when I was in like middle school. Right. So just the math alone tells you, these creators are getting into their 70s and 80s. So yeah, you have to kind of, just like when you have super old family members, right? In the back of your mind, you have to be like, well, someday this person's going to pass on. Right. Especially you have like an uncle or a great uncle that's in their 90s. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can be sad, but I don't think you can be stunned or shocked when someone, 92, 93, 94 years old passes away. Right. I think because if you're a comic fan, these people have a larger than life status. Lady who lives across the street from me passes away in her 80s. I'm like, oh, that's awful. My wife and I go over, we see if we can help. When a name like, Bernie Wrightson, something like that, a huge megastar who's been a big part of my childhood passes away, it's like, wow, it's like a bigger sort of, I think it's a bigger impact for it.
All right, so let's do, let's segue into a Dynamite title. Tonight we have Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, Necronomicon, Rising #2, the Christopher Mitten Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40.
You know where the Ken Hazer Virgin cover for this is?
I do not.
My house. I threw pictures of it up on Twitter. I'm telling everybody, you have to. Alec mentioned it earlier. I love this book. I love Ash.
That's fun.
I mean, if you don't, some of my best moments at cons are waiting to run into Bruce Campbell. And it's always the same interaction. Like, I can tell Bruce Campbell is a saint because he's heard me say 50 times how much I love Army of Darkness. But he greets every person with the same sort of, hey, thanks for coming out. And one of the first things I started to read in horror ever, everybody was reading Stephen King. And I was a kid. I started reading horror about 11, 12, 13. And a lady at the library said, Stephen King has one writer that gave him bad dreams when he was a kid. I'm like, somebody frightened Stephen King? I was like shocked, right? And it was H.P. Lovecraft. And she's like, we have an H.P. Lovecraft book here. Hey, Miss Jen. I just saw her pop up.
Hey, Miss Jen, what's going on?
When I read Lovecraft, I was like, and Lovecraft is all over the place. But man, Reanimator is sort of this. The thing I love about Reanimator is this guy won't accept death as a finality. That's the whole thing, like the story. In 2 seconds, I can tell people like Alec, they're like, I don't know who Reanimator is. Imagine Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory bringing people back to life from the dead. Why is he doing it? Because he can.
But see, that's what's cool about this series is because they basically tell you that right off the bat. And it's like, oh, awesome. That's exactly who this character is. That's all I needed to know.
All right, so we got to go to our last and final break. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show, on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
All right, and we're back. All right, so let's get through a few more books. We actually have some vintage stuff from the 80s. Mark says he wished DC and Marvel characters could be on the show.
Aren't we vintage characters from the 80s?
Just about. We're pretty close to it.
We're pretty old.
All right, so we have Secret Wars number 3. We have both the direct edition and the newsstand edition. The direct edition is probably a presumed grade of 4.0, and the newsstand edition is a presumed grade. Is this right, Amy? 9.0? Yeah. Okay, got it. All right, so they are both available for $50. So again, the direct edition is a presumed grade of 4, and the newsstand edition is a presumed grade of 5.
And this one's got a couple first appearances in it too.
It does.
Just a heads up for everybody. First appearance of Volcana and first appearance of Second Titania. So
I'm also going to throw out my usual kind of recommendation here, right? We all know books like Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. These things are going to be coming, right? If you want to get these books, get them now. Don't wait until they're out on TV in the movies, because you know as well as I do, almost everybody watching this show, the prices go up.
yeah, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. They'll announce Secret Wars, blah, blah, blah. This book won't be $50. And I feel like it's not even like a spoiler alert. I'm just like literally telling you, you're going to go to a show, you're going to go somewhere else. This stuff is going to be more expensive. So if it's something you want,
Preston will throw up a slab now, and JD's right. We did have a slab, the Miles Morales.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't we do Miles Morales?
Yeah, but Lars Man snapped it up so quick, I don't even think people saw it.
Lars Man just wants to be billed for the Spider-Man stuff. He's not.
All right, here we go. Timeless number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. We have one available, suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $64.19 for 1964 when Kang first appeared in the Marvel Universe.
This was a surprisingly really good read. I had no expectations for it. I assumed it was just going to be a bad Marvel one-shot. I was actually really impressed by it. I thought it was really good.
I picked it up because Alec had said that. I guess after he read it, he had said, I'm really impressed by this, so it made me go and get it. And he's absolutely right. It's a lot better than Marvel has kind of began trafficking in what I call transient comics. You're kind of reading them, but you don't really need to. It's almost sort of like this connective tissue between big events. You kind of get these things out there. It's pre this, it's post that. This is absolutely a book to go out. Right. Even if you don't buy this book, this is absolutely a book to go out, find the back issue bin, comic book store. You have to get it digitally. It's just a really good story.
All right. So next up, we've got Justice League #1, signed by Jim Lee, suggested retail of $299.99, and we have one available. It is number 196 at $250, and we're going to do it $196 for both 1960, the year Justice League first appeared, and it happens to be 196 of the edition.
Yeah, Sheldon, that's a great comment. It was a great read, and now that's a book I would have liked to see more of. It seems like sometimes they put these series out there, and you're like, this is really just one story dragged out. This is a story, if they'd done timeless, if they'd spread it out a little bit, I'd be like, okay, I'm on board.
So Stevie B, Lars Man has an unfair advantage. His Spidey sense tingles. All right.
Hey, now this could be a decent segue into something that I saw a lot of people talking about today. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about it at all, but
go ahead. I don't know. I probably missed it.
So only because Jim Lee, he signed the book. So I saw a lot of people making posts and videos about this one today. It's continuing on with the whole Whatnot issue and stuff like that. But Whatnot did a team up with CGC. So how they do like the in-house signings, like the signature series, Whatnot's there, and they were streaming on a Jim Lee account, doing signed stuff. And apparently on the stream, they said that because Jim Lee, I guess he didn't set up his own account. CGC did it, and I guess they said on stream like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to set up the buy it nows. We're going to make it all," which leads me and apparently a lot of other people believe that Jim Lee's not really, he's just there. He's probably getting paid to do the in-house signing. But I find it kind of odd that CGC has a Whatnot account that I guess they might be planning on selling through. They did a giveaway. They did a bunch of giveaways. But I think that's a massive conflict of interest if they start selling on Whatnot, especially after doing a sponsoring or just some sort of event with Whatnot. I don't think that they should mix. I really don't.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a clear conflict of interest. I don't think there's any two ways about that.
That makes me not trust CGC. It really doesn't. If Whatnot is a selling platform, from there, if Whatnot is a publishing platform, because they are a publisher, they're in previews, they are going to be selling comic books. They already have a few. They've got ash cans, they've got exclusives, whatever. But now imagine you as a buyer. Yes, we got this high grade. We're the only ones with this high grade. Well, you're also are low-key kind of teamed up with them. I don't know. To me, that's a conflict of interest. I don't think that should be together. I don't.
I would agree with that. I think that and I don't know how long it's going to take, but there is an inevitable consequence of doing that, because once you start competing with your customers, then something's going to give. Right. So if you're selling your own, and of course, again, there is that part of being a grading company that you have to be real careful of. There's that line. Okay. Because if you start selling your own inventory of slab books, people are going to be questioning, well, how come I can't? Lars Man says that's how Whatnot will get, 10.0s.
Yeah,
yes.
like imagine they start posting that we're the only ones with a 10 on this ash can that's quadruple signed.
Right.
I probably wouldn't believe that. There's I don't know.
I'd almost rather the two companies merge and be honest about it. You know what I mean? I would rather them just be honest. And
the problem is, well, I think the problem becomes that over time, you're going to crimp your own business because there's a lot of vendors that sell through Whatnot, and a lot of them sell graded books. Okay. And that's going to kind of be how the problem kind of occurs. So where Rubenstein says, let's see, I don't understand how these CGC books are getting graded so fast now. Well, let's call it what it is. If you're CGC and you've got a show on Whatnot, I mean,
and maybe you see, maybe they contact, maybe not Whatnot, maybe there's other businesses out there too. There's other comic shops. I'm so sorry. That send in all of this stuff, and they're like, hey, we just sent in like 50 books. We need this for a show. We need this for this. That maybe there is some sort of, I don't know. Oh yeah, they get priority, or, we need to do this for them, or, I don't know.
That certainly happens, it does. It totally happens. Absolutely.
I'm not going to say it does or doesn't, but I tell you all the time, I always got my tin hat on. I always got the foil. And
listen, I will tell you for a fact that it happens. And I'm not talking about the comic book world, but I can't imagine it being very different. But from a trading card perspective, I've worked for an auction house. And yeah,
all that stuff was fake, right?
No, but if you're sitting there and before every auction, you're sending tons and tons of cards to be graded, the grading company is well motivated. Okay. I'll give you another example. Okay. Autograph authentication will remain unnamed, but the auction house I work for, the grading companies, we didn't send stuff out to them. They came to our facility with a team for 2-3 days and authenticated a bunch of stuff that we would line up for them. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely special favors that are thrown out there based on dollars. But I think the problem is but none of these, in terms of trading cards, none of these graders or authenticators are selling their own stuff. They're still a service. Okay. Now, will they give?
That's what I was getting at.
That's the problem. Is I see this could get real messy because now you're selling stuff. So now you're not just providing a service; you're also in competition with those that you are servicing, and that's a very slippery slope. You got to be real careful.
Yeah, now that's where I wanted to get with that. Now, if they have some sort of team up, and now all of a sudden Whatnot gets like super like 9.9s and 10s, maybe they don't, but whatever. Like that is, people are probably going to think, oh, well, that's because they do business with each other. But now that CGC has their own account on there, if they do anything other than giveaways, like if they have an account and they do a giveaway stream every week or a month or whatever. But if you are strictly doing sales, that is not good. I don't think that is good at all. I think that's very bad.
Ron just summed it up right there. He said it's deeper than even that. CGC won't grade books at 10, but they'll grade their books at 10.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah. They have these books. Yeah, right. Are they a real grade? Is this
Yeah, it's gonna raise some very uncomfortable questions if they do turn to selling. So Larsman, I want to answer Larsman's question. I do not collect signed baseball stuff. Ironically enough, I originally started from that business of sports collectibles, trading card companies, signed baseball, so on and so forth. I started my career in collectibles with a company that no longer exists called The Scoreboard, and they were one of the first to assign an athlete, and it was Joe DiMaggio, to a long-term contract and exclusive, and had been one of the pioneers of certificate of authenticity to go along with it. So, all right. So as we're getting to 7:44. All right. So let's get through a few more books.
I'll throw this out there real quick, though. Yeah. That makes me want to get to know CBCS a lot better.
Yeah. Well, it may be.
I'm just saying.
No, it may be an incredible opportunity for them if they're smart enough to recognize it. All right. So we haven't done a lot of CCAs. So let's go through some of our CCAs. We have Justice League of America #1, signed by Steve Orlando and Ken Hazer, with a flash cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Wow. Just retail $99.99. We have one available for $56.19. And the reason that I got the Scooby and the Flash was a silent protest of what's going on at DC.
Oh my God, no.
So that is available tonight. One available for $56.19. You got it, Creative.
Does Ron have one of these? Oh no, Creative got it. Okay.
Creative keeps already copped on that one. You got it, Creative. I got you, buddy. All right, and then the next one is Justice League of America #1, signed by Steve Orlando and Ken Hazer, with Batman cover sketch by Ken Hazer.
That one's awesome.
Suggestion
the other one was
retail
good too. But...
$9.99. And we have the one available for $69.99. So that is also available tonight. So
Ron brings up a great point. I actually said this to Nick one day, and he kind of chuckled about it. He's waiting for his metal books to come back from grading. How can a metal cover be less than a 10 if it was not damaged when he submitted it?
Well, what's interesting is
that's a great point.
Will they even know how to grade it? Because the normal standards won't apply.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to have
there's no creases, there's no chips, there's not going to be a bent corner.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. But again, that's
maybe they've been brought low. They've been broken by Dynamite. I love it.
All right. So the last graded book of the night is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. It's just a retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $69.99. Marcus, that is a good point. Yes, they may look for metal surface for scratches. That is correct. But how much is that going to weigh? Because
That's probably
standard really changed.
That's probably the realistic only way to grade those books. How many scratches are on it? Are they deep scratches? That's realistic. But what Preston said, are metal covers in their own category. They should be.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I want to answer where Rubenstein's question. Theoretically, okay, the slab should keep air out of it, and corrosion must have oxygen in order to happen.
I was just going to say that. In theory, if you slab a metal book, it should never corrode.
Marcus, they may offer a polishing service.
I mean, hey, you guys laugh at that, but if metal covers catch on like way bigger, I mean, look at the acetate thing that
I'll
just
open
happened.
my own polishing service.
If
run my own business, I'll be at home polishing up metal comics.
I mean, if all that acetate stuff, if Marvel wouldn't have released a recent statement or email that went out to the retailers, basically that was like, hey, you can't do this. This, Marvel has all the property rights. If they basically kind of didn't do that route and just let it ride, I'm willing to bet money that acetate covers would have made a huge push in the coming months. So that I mean, Marvel basically just dictated what was going to happen with that whole scenario. I'm still interested to see what happens with everything, especially after the email came out. Because one thing that I see a lot of people that they're still talking about is that Whatnot still, eBay's removing all the acetate listings, or at least they're removing a lot of the listings, saying this is a counterfeit book, bootlegged book. We're not going to promote these types of sales. Whatnot said it's not that clear. It's not that clear. It's not as cut and dry as people are making it seem. And I've seen a few statements that came out after Marvel also made that statement as well. And Whatnot continued on with, well, it's not that cut and dry. And then CGC also made the same type of statement. Basically, we are backing up what our first statement and our second statement was on the books. So that kind of furthers everything else. Like, they did the event. They're both not really following with what Marvel kind of just said. And I don't know, it's definitely a really fun conversation because there's a lot of different angles to it. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the last couple of weeks with it. And it's just interesting to see where things go from there, I think.
So Lars Mann says, Ron, did you include Band-Aids for the grader? Lars Mann, Ron, if they bleed on the comic, they owe you a refund. Okay? That's not on you. All right, so let me get the last two books and we'll do a Rex cap real quick.
Don't we have a giveaway too?
Yeah.
Oh, you said it's going to be after the
after the best offer ends. All right, so the best offer book of the night, because we're running short on time. Scooby Apocalypse #1, signed with Scooby cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book, and Preston is currently in the lead at 21. All right, so then the last, Creative Keep, I know. So last couple of books, we have Immortal Red Sonja #5, Lyrics Lee Ultraviolet Virgin cover. It's just a retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40.
See, because the crazy thing with grading is that I mean, grades are always subjective. It comes down to how bad of a day that person's having. Maybe they're having a great day, maybe a bad day. Maybe one person looks at it and another person looks at the same book and they might have different ideas of a grade. I love the idea of just like the encapsulation of the comic because it does preserve it and it, makes it last. And imagine having like some old Spider-Man issues or whatever character and you want to preserve it forever. I think grading is great for that, but the grade itself, I don't know. The grade is always subjective. It's not always a definite thing.
Well, let me get the last book. It's Lady Hell #1, Lucio Perillo, red tint cover. It's just a retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. All right. So you bring up a good point. Grading is subjective, but here's the thing: whether it's PSA or SGC or CGC or CBCS. If nobody, you don't have a Lady Hell picture. Okay, sorry about that, JD.
Hold up.
Okay,
ahead,
do your Vanna White thing.
Keep talking amongst yourselves.
If none of these grading companies have this on their radar, then they're not very smart. Because quite honestly, how far away do we think somebody's going to develop an app that will be able to grade comics, trading cards, anything like that? Okay.
Oh, it'll be a scan at some point. I'm willing to bet money on it.
Yeah, so if they're not, and once that happens, these guys got problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So they need to put that down, John. That's been claimed.
I'm putting it over here where it's been.
I'm watching.
Claimed.
So yeah, the Beckett debacle in the early '90s. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Because I don't know if you guys. I don't even remember the entire thing, but I think it was with Heritage Auction and WATA, the video game grading, where all these massive high-end sales were happening through video game sales. But people were making all of these videos about how people who started up WATA also had a stake in Heritage as well. So one's getting games sent to WATA to grade, and then they're sending it right back to Heritage to sell. So obviously there's going to be just perfect high-end sales because, well, you've got stake in both companies. You're kind of together. So it's interesting to see that. I don't know what happened with WATA or anything that happened from there, but I know a lot of people don't send stuff to them anymore. Right. So this makes it more interesting as well. Does stuff like this with, Whatnot and CGC, does that bring light to a situation too? That could move forward? Like, could this potentially put someone down? I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it. There's a lot of angles and a lot of different things. This is like a really interesting conversation, and I'm happy that people aren't just settling on this.
It's not new, believe it or not, the problem itself. But let me. All right, so we've got 3 minutes until the one single best offer closes, and then right after that we'll do the drawing. So if you joined us a little bit later, JD, if you could throw that up. We're going to have a giveaway. John, can you do your Vanna White thing on the giveaway there?
Sure.
All right. And you need to put in the chats hashtag ARComicsEXP, all lowercase, and you will be automatically entered in for the drawing. And as soon as the best offer book closes at 7:55, we will have JD spin the wheel and we'll figure out who the winner is. But Lars Man, as imperfect as it was, but this is about Wizard guide pricing. That's a good point, and I applaud Wizard for pivoting when they needed to. Now the question is, will these other companies pivot like CGC and PSA and SGC and CBCS? Will they pivot at the right time? Wizard became a victim of technology. Who buys a price guide anymore? Why would you buy a price guide when you've got your phone? And they saw that ahead of time and pivoted to the convention business. All right. So here they are. They're still around, right? Because nobody was reading that magazine anymore because nobody reads magazines. So that was, and weird. So I got to answer this question.
This spam thing might take a while. This isn't a 3-hour show. Although everyone wants the Hungry Nick special.
I can't help him there. I don't pick his menu. The spam thing. So months and months ago, probably over a year ago, John and I started talking. John, if you don't, those of you that are not regulars, John is actually from the food business and is retired. So knowing that, I would ask John a lot of questions, and it didn't matter if we were streaming or not. And we talked about our love of spam, and it just became this regular topic that kept coming up. And somebody brought up, what was it, the Musabi spam, right?
Spam Musabi, yeah.
Yeah, you got to make that for me, dude.
You know what? I was just thinking about.
Dude, you're retired. You have nothing better to do.
I don't know if it's spam Musabi, but there's a Loco Moco burrito.
Ooh. Actually, just regular Moco Loco.
That was one of the things. Well, you know what? One of the last times I did an event for someone, they wanted the food to be portable. And
Jimmy Ray's, what's going on, buddy?
And I said, you know what? You can sort of do Loco Moco in a burrito. There was when I lived out in Hawaii.
That's acceptable.
This is a long time ago. Filipino neighborhoods, all the Filipinos had Loco Moco as a burrito. They all took, and I remember thinking it was like 3 or 4 trailers and trucks that did them back then.
That's acceptable to me.
Like in the 90s, and they were so good.
All right, so JD, we are closed on the best offer. So I got to say congratulations to Preston, who won the Scoopy Apocalypse. And all right, so I'm going to do a real quick recap.
I thought John was in movies.
All right, so I'm going to do a real quick Rex cap. So buckle up, JD. All right, so 10 Dynamite 10-pack reader set. Ed Weird picked one up, although we didn't show it. 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, and we have all 10 for $5. Then we had Battlefield's Dear Billy #2, signed in silver by Garth Ennis, co-creator of The Boys. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is a bargain at $19.89. Then we did the Justice League #1, signed by Jim Lee. Suggested retail of $299.99, and we have the one available for $196. And then we had Batman Hidden Treasures #1, double signed by Ron Mars and Len Wein. And we have one available for $49.99. Then we had Timeless #1, CGC graded guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it for one available for $64.19. Then we did Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, CGC graded 9.8. We had suggested retail of $89.99. We have it available, one available for $69.99. Then we had Secret Wars #3, Direct Edition, one available, presumed grade of 4.0. We have it available for $50. Then we had the Star Wars #3 Newsstand Edition, presumed grade of a 9.0, and we have one available also for $50. Then we had Star Wars #1, 1 in 500 ratio retailer incentive wraparound sketch variant by Joe Quesada, signed by John Cassaday. It's just retail of $1,977. We have the one available, #30 of 30, available for $1,000 with a 25% down payment plan. Then we had Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, Necronomicon Rising #2, Christopher Mitten Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. Then we had Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids #2, Joe Simcoe Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50, and we have one available for $40.
No, Ed Weird. The book was the $1,000 book was.
Yeah, Tierney claimed it, but then saw the price and backed out. So It's okay. It's all right. We know it's not for everybody. Then we had Immortal Red Sonja #5, Lee Ricks Lee, Ultraviolet Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. And then we had, we didn't have a picture of it, but Lady Hell #1, Lucio Purio, red tint cover. It's just retail of $50, and we have one available for $40.
I'm going to show this again because this cover's really nice. I love these red tint covers. I like the fact that this isn't like candy apple red. This is more like a deeper, I don't want to say burgundy, but it's like a deeper red color.
All right. And then we had Justice League of America #1, signed by Steve Orlando and Ken Hazer, with Batman cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just retail $99.99, and we have one available for $69.99. Boy, that was a challenge. Man, I felt like a talk show host. All right, so we have to do the drawing.
We have to do the drawing. We're almost done.
All right, so
is Jen on tonight?
Let's
right
go.
After this?
Is Jen after this? I'm not sure.
9 o'clock, I believe, is Wednesday
9
Warriors.
9 o'clock. Yes, you are correct. Let's see. All right, let's spin that wheel, buddy.
Ed Weird.
Oh, we did.
Oh, Ed
It's
Weird.
Ed Weird.
Congratulations, buddy. You are the winner. Ed Weird is the winner.
You have to look really closely at this cover. It's a little bit hard to say, but this is like one of these uses of negative space. I'm going to throw this up here again real quick. You have to really kind of give this, like, let your eyes like check it out for a second, and then you kind of see like you can see Sonya in here, and I think this is really, really well done.
And Lars, man, yes, absolutely. Let's keep a candle lit for John Spilios. Hope he's doing all right.
Oh yeah, shout out to John. I'm sure he's.
I don't think you can watch the show, but
our thoughts are with him.
Yeah,
of course.
definitely thinking about him.
We'll see you next
again,
month.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know we had a lot of new viewers, and that's always great. To our
Check out
regulars,
Alex's show.
thank you so much, guys. And thank you to Alec for joining us every Wednesday.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, JD, for handling things behind the scenes. Thank you, John, as always. Hey, we love you guys. We love
Nick
doing
is
this.
here Friday with original.
Nick is here Friday with the original art show from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time here on The Experience. Make sure you check out Alec's channel, AR_comics, on YouTube. Great content there. That wraps it up for our Wednesday show.
Congratulations to all the winners. We'll see you next week.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all. Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.